What's up? I have to remember people don't like people that like this is the first time watching any of my videos. Like you don't know who I am, so you might not get my sense of humor, and like stupid shit I say. So kind of gotta maybe not just come out swinging like that. Anyway, you'll get used to it after a while, because I can't refrain from being my genuine, amazing, beautiful, great, delicious self. Anyway, I want to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin just passed the $60,000 mark. Holy shit! What's the market cap on that? I don't know. It's a lot. A lot of people talk about wealth being created and destroyed. I mean, you just look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I mean, it facilitates a function within our economy for, I guess, to a degree. Right now it's a store of value, we can say that. Yeah. Two, it is also a medium of exchange. It's like you trade. Well, really most trades are, your, I don't know, whatever it is that you sell, whatever good or service you offer the market for dollars or money, another type of money, and then you go to an exchange and exchange that type of money for Bitcoin, and usually exchange out of it back into whatever type of currency you exchange into it with, or it could be a different kind. To be honest, it could be a different type of cryptocurrency even, and then eventually you might, like I said, you might switch out to a already widely accepted currency to switch out to a different type of good or service. So it's just a very long, transaction from what it is that you offer the market to eventually what it is you are getting in return from the market. It's all trading. That's the entire economy. I've said this a million times. A lot of people lose sight of that. A lot of people think that money is like this arbitrary thing that's like different than any other good or service. It's like, no, it's all just trading. You trade, like bartering is just, you trade this for that, a boat for a house or something, I don't know. And the money in between is just you trade boat for the money for the house. It's just an extra step. It's just and you got to do that sometimes because the currencies are things that most people in any given market accept. So it's like if you want to trade with them, that they do business, they might not want a boat. They're selling a house, but they don't want a boat. So what do? You get the money that they will accept, that a lot of other people accept, because they'll accept that because they can go back to the market and a whole bunch of other people already accept it, and boom, they can trade it for something that they actually do want instead of a boat. And I mean, that's, what should we call that? That generally I would call like a user base of money. I don't know, like we need like a catchier phrase for that. Somebody help me come up with something. But like the people that actually accept any given type of money, it's like that group of people represents like I don't know, like the people that accept that type of money. So it's a group of people that accept that money. But yeah, there's all different types of money, and they're not like necessarily determined by geographical region or anything like that. It's just literally who will accept it and trade. Like a lot of people are so used to the traditional each country has its own currency, blah blah blah. So a lot of people just think it's like some geographical thing. It's like it might be kind of like because people are gonna be doing business in that area, and if it's physical money, it's like, all right, like this is what I can go to the people right down the street, with, and they'll accept for trade. But nowadays it's a little bit different because we have all this online stuff. We're doing like transactions across, national borders and all types of stuff, and so it's more or less just the user base of any given type of money represents like the demand for it, basically, and that in large part will be what determines its value relative to its supply. So you got a supply of money and then the demand for it, and even with the supply there's what do they call that, like where it's not active, it's like I don't know, it's like supply that people are holding on to, not spending, is being, and then there's the active supply the active supply relative to the demand for it will really more so determine the value of it in any given market. And the thing is, like with cryptocurrency, with the Bitcoin, a lot of different cryptocurrencies, like a lot of people are using those as investment vehicles more than as currencies themselves. And so a lot of people are holding on to it, expecting for there to be large return on investment, like they're expecting the value of it to go up. So what's happening is the supply is being bought up and is being held, so there's a very small active supply available, and a lot more people are coming in. And it's kind of an illusion of sorts. I'll just be honest, like, because you can look at the price, and then there's trade volume, and then there's the market cap, which is kind of just reflective of the price versus the available supply. Not even available supply, but just like total supply. Available supply would be the active supply. But so you have the price and then the trade volume. A lot of times when the price spikes, like, there might be a lot of trade volume, but that's just like an active people are just active in trading. But a lot of people are gonna like naturally want to hold on to it, you know what I mean? Especially when it's appreciating, and a lot of people might sell because they're like, okay, they think it's like, a good place to sell, to get out of that investment. It might be the peak, they might say, or they want to get out before the peak, before it takes a downturn. So a lot of people might sell at with these spikes. But a lot of people might hold on, and it's, I guess the illusion I was trying to point out is that even if the price is going way up, it could just be a relatively small trade volume, like active supply that's being traded. I think just generally what I was trying to point out is that a lot of people might look at the price and be unaware of what's going on with the volume, the supply, and while the price might be hitting like super high marks, it could be a low trade volume relative to the entire supply. It could just be a few people like trading among each other, that's causing those high marks. And if everybody holding on to Bitcoin or any other investment, is thinking that they can all sell at that price, it's like, it might be an illusion, because there's only so much demand and only so much trade volume. For everybody to liquidate at a certain price, there has to be like enough demand and trade volume, I guess, to sell at that price. A lot of people think because Bitcoin just hit 60,000 that it's worth 60,000, that everybody that's holding on to a Bitcoin can sell it for 60,000. That's not how it works. There's a demand that exists, and it only exists for so long, especially when it's an asset, an investment vehicle. Like, people really want to buy when things are moving up. As soon as that trend shifts going the other way, nobody's trying to buy, and that's why shit just fucking looks like a roller coaster. It goes do climbs, and it just plummets, and because there's only so much demand, here's the thing. Let me explain this. There's only so much demand for something that's mostly an investment vehicle. Like, Bitcoin really isn't being used that much for transactions. Like, it has been, but it's not that much. And like a lot of people have said, the network can't even really handle it if it was like full on like being used as money. So a lot of people just saying it's a store of value, saying it's like the gold 2.0, the digital gold. And it's like, that as a meme, you might say, can catch on. Like, gold, people just say gold has value. They're like, why? I don't know, it's gold. And it's like, that's just like part of our culture. If Bitcoin can catch on the same way, that will probably serve to like keep a demand for it. It'll have cultural value. It'll be like a meme in our society, like globally probably. And there's a lot of people that are literally putting out like these little memes, like with like jokes and stuff, like, kind of propping up Bitcoin. And so you got that aspect. You have people talking about HODL, hold on for dear life. So a lot of people don't sell, even, which kind of creates some stability. So it's not like these crazy like plummeting downfalls. A lot of people make fun of other people who sell. They call them lettuce hands. This stuff's funny stuff. All these memes and stuff, they're hilarious. But they work to create a culture. They work to give Bitcoin cultural relevance. And that's kind of the same thing that gold already has. It's just gold. Everybody knows gold has value because it's been valuable since like old Egyptian times, you know what I mean? But really gold's just a type of metal. I mean, it's a precious metal. There's only so much of it, limited supply, but it's like there's only so many industrial uses for it. Its industrial value does not substantiate its, investing value. It's more or less that it's a cultural thing. And same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not really being used for transactions. It's more or less a cultural thing, and that's why it has value. A lot of people say, "Oh, it has no intrinsic value." Gold's industrial value, which some people argue is its intrinsic value, is not sufficient to validate, I guess, substantiate its investment value. It's a cultural thing, and people. The thing, it's so easy when you really understand it. It's the hard part is explaining it, I guess. It's not that hard, but it's I don't know. It's like nobody's really explained this. Like I intuitively came to understand this pretty quickly when I started looking at investing. I didn't understand what investing was for the longest time. I learned about Bitcoin back in like 2009, 10 ish. I had a client on my computer, had a little pink laptop. I still got the laptop. Had a little Bitcoin mining client. My CPU was just so slow. It's like, okay, well, not doing much, but it's still on there. I had it way back. I just didn't know what investing was. If I did, I would have been like, boom, give me a fat ass stack of Bitcoin. Hold on to that shit, like. Cause I like the idea of Bitcoin. I understood like what its purpose was, kind of in creating a nice stable type of money, in contrast to, fractional reserve banking, money just being created willy-nilly by banks and, inflation everywhere. I was like, yeah, Bitcoin's the solution to that. So I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin's awesome. That's why I downloaded the client, because I understood that concept, but I didn't understand what investing was. So anyway, I understood this stuff for a while, but I didn't come to understand investing back until maybe like 2017. I started getting into it, and then the Bitcoin. There was a big Bitcoin boom happening right there, and really I didn't quite understand. I'm like, everybody's saying it's going up, some people saying it's going down, some people saying it's a bubble, blah blah blah. I'm like, what the hell is really going on? So I had to like really wrap my head around it, and that's when I really and I came to intuitively understand it pretty well. But the thing is, there's a difference. I'm gonna try to explain. I'm trying to. But at the same time, I don't want to give away like all my trade secrets. But I don't know. Maybe I already have in other videos. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever. But like I said, Bitcoin right now is like mostly speculative. And a lot of people are going to argue that. They're going to say, oh no, it's a store value, blah, blah. It's like, it's not really being used very much to facilitate transactions. So it's not like it's like traditional money. I guess it is to a degree a store value. But I mean, it's really just an investment vehicle. It has no other real purpose at the moment. Maybe later on, like with this Lightning Network and all these other upgrades they're trying to do, it'll be usable as money. And if that becomes the case, which it might, it looks like if people are trying to make that happen, then it'll probably have an industrial use of sorts, an economic use for facilitating transactions. But right now, it's more or less like a store value. It's more or less just an investment vehicle. It's a pure investment vehicle, which means that 99.9999999% of the people that own it and are buying it to hopefully see a return on that investment. They are buying it to sell it again to somebody else at a higher price. And so it's kind of like this, and I've said this before. I actually made a video a long time ago. I said that the stock market is a Ponzi scheme, but just bear with me here. It was inspired by Enron. Enron was a stupid ass company, but it was a prime example of what I'm saying. But if everybody's buying to sell at a high price, boom, 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 somebody at the end is not going to have somebody to sell to. There's going to be the people who are left holding the bag, as they say. And eventually it'll go down. Every company in existence that has ever existed went up and then eventually went back down. And went, except for the companies that are still in existence that have been around for a long time. I mean, some people say maybe they can last forever, but I don't know. We're getting into like philosophy here. Like, can a business last forever? I don't know. Eventually, every business probably will go down. Some people say that some maybe can last forever. So I guess in that case, the perpetual Ponzi scheme will keep going up and up. But if everything eventually does go down, I guess hypothetically speaking, here we're going. I don't know. I guess there's two sides in that philosophical argument there. But if everything does eventually go down, it's people are buying and sell to the next guy, to the next guy, to the next guy. Somebody's gonna be left holding the bag, and all there's gonna be are people that you can sell to just to get out of a position. But they might be thinking, whoever you sell to might be thinking it's going to bounce or go back up, but it turns out it doesn't. And eventually it'll go back to zero. So it's like a Ponzi scheme. The people buy in, sell, and then the people that buy from them try to sell again. And some people on the run up will make money, but eventually it's going to go back down. And that's the thing. A lot of people are arguing that Bitcoin will last forever because it has a limited demand or a limited supply. Probably an increasing demand if it catches on more and more. And it's like this blockchain ledger which can last indefinitely. So they're saying that Bitcoin maybe has almost like a relative, it probably has a longer, a higher chance of a longer lifespan than a traditional company. And in that case, I guess the investment vehicle, sell to the next guy type thing might go on indefinitely. But honestly, there's I guess there's what do they call that? Is it market saturation? It's like once like all the people that are gonna buy it, like there's no more like increase in demand, so the price really ain't gonna go up. You know what I mean? It's just like it'll probably plateau. And really, if other competitive cryptocurrencies come out, into the same field, because it's a whole market. Cryptocurrencies are a whole market. Blockchain technologies, decentralization, that's a whole new emerging market. Kind of like the internet back in the early 90s, that was emerging. There was a .com bubble. Now we got like this decentralization, like boom, and everybody's like, yeah, dude, let's get in. It's a growing market. The whole market's exploding right now. Developing, you might say. I don't want to say exploding. That sounds like just reckless, but yeah, it's developing, emerging. So yeah, if competitors come in for Bitcoin and there's only so much demand overall for stuff like that, then maybe even when it's saturated, if new competitors come in, the value might actually eventually go down. And there might be something that comes out that's better than Bitcoin that might make Bitcoin obsolete, And a lot of people say, oh, no way. I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe. And in that case, it might become obsolete and demand will disappear and the value will disappear. I mean, I'm just saying, this is like long-term thinking. It's really, a lot of people are relatively short-term. A lot of people are invested in themselves. So they're like, oh yeah, it's going to the moon. It's the best thing, They're just trying to hype it up so they can sell it. I'm tell you the truth be told, I am not invested in Bitcoin whatsoever. Kind of wish I was early on, but I wasn't, so whatever. So yeah, I have I'm not invested in this. I'm not trying to hype it up either way. I'm just saying it like it is. Really, if anything, I like it for the, like I said, economic transaction, kind of being a decent type of monetary system without inflation, you know what I mean? I like it for its original intent, as far as I understood it, which was to, create a stable type of money with a limited supply that's not going to be inflated by money, I guess, bankers or whatever, fractionals or banking, creating money on the spot, just handing out loans and inflating the currency like crazy. So yeah, I like it for that intent, and for that reason, I'm a fan of it, and I really hope it succeeds. And honestly, I hope other type of cryptocurrencies come out too that work as well, because I think there should be like a free market of money. That's what I've called it in the past. Like, well, I've kind of preached it in the past plenty, but I think there should be competing currencies, because it's kind of like having like 4 engines on a plane. Like, the more you have is redundancy. If one goes out for whatever reason, network goes down, you still got these other 3 running, and you'll probably be safe. If you only got one engine, it goes out, it's like, dude, you're plummeting. Like, what the heck is going? Redundancy. It's about redundancy. So for that reason, I think there should be like multiple competing currencies, free market of money. I think when you go to the store, they should have like multiple options of the types of money you can do business with. It would just be smart on the business's part. If they want business and you use a certain type of money, if they want money, they got to accept whatever type of money people are trying to use. So I mean, a lot of people are just so stuck on this like traditional idea of like, people have like these preconceived notions just because they're like born with like what we have, like the geographical government mandated type money. It's like, that's not what it is. Like, everything in the economy is trading. Like I already said, that bartering used to be what it was. Just trade. You can still do that right now. You can trade stuff for stuff. I do it occasionally, but money is just the same thing. Money is bartering. Just money is a type of good that a lot of people accept. So people will barter or trade for that type of money because they know that they could trade that money with a lot of other people that are, doing business with that. It's still just, I want to say it's bartering, but really, I mean, everybody knows bartering is kind of just item for an item. But the thing is, money is an item. Money is a good. It's a product. It facilitates a function in our economy, facilitates transactions. And so it's the same thing. Bartering is trading goods for goods. Money is a type of good, so it's the same thing. It's like bartering. You're bartering for money. And then you take that money and somebody barters with you for that money. You know what I'm saying? It's the same old thing. It's the same old thing that's like since the dawn of before the dawn of civilization. There were like tribes out in the wilderness like trading with each other before civilization even came about. You know what I'm saying? So people with their like government mandated idea of money, it's like it's never was that. It's almost like a forced, unnatural thing. What's natural is trading. That's existed before civilization even existed. So if we got like a new type of money that people are all like willingly using, like by their own choice, or different types of money, it's like we're back to the original, sense of, business, and like just trading. That's what the economy is. The entire economy. That's what capitalism is, I guess you could say. Or I don't know, that might be too just generally, economics is about trading. That's what we do in this world. We trade our labor, we organize things, we trade, we produce products, we trade. That's what it's all about. That's how we function as a civilization, as a society. Anyway, my point was, a lot of people are just so used to like government mandated, geographically, oriented money. But like I said, that's probably a natural thing because a lot of it was physical and people are just doing business with the people physically around them. But the world's changed. It's a little bit different now. A lot of stuff's digital. We can have cryptocurrencies that, people all over the globe are using. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be geographically, determined, I guess. And also the government mandated shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I could just say the obvious. The government wants to keep a relative monopoly on money because they want to, one, be able to print it and go spend it in the market. They want to mandate, that taxes have to be paid with it, for one, so that people will, there would be a perpetual demand for it. Because if you don't pay your taxes, you're going to jail. So people are like, I don't want to go to jail. So that creates a perpetual demand for their government fucking money. Two, if there's a demand for their money, they can print the money, go to the market and buy goods and services for whatever reason. It could be, hire people to go to war for them or whatever. Those are the main two. I guess three is that, they might, to a degree, like with the central banks, they can affect interest rates. They can inflate and deflate the currency, which gives them like kind of control over like the speed of market. So it kind of gives them like a certain level of control. I think they want to keep all that. They want to keep all that because, they love control. They're a bunch of fucking psychopaths that love control. A bunch of these people in our government, it is what it is. It's a bunch of psycho freaking power hungry people. The last people that probably should be in our government are that's what a lot of them are. So anyway, yeah, I think they want to keep that, but that's kind of like a forced thing. It's kind of a government mandated. It's not natural. Natural is trading. And when a type of money comes in that people can like elect individually to use if they want to, when there's a free market of money, it's not mandated. People can choose to do business. It's like, here's the thing I want to explain too. I said it in the past. Like, with a free market of money, there'll be, there can be different competing currencies. And with that, people can like make a choice of what to use. They can understand like the parameters of these various types of money. And like let's say you want to save, you'll go into a type of money, you'll do business, you trade whatever it is. You trade whatever it is for a type of money that you think you can hold on to for long term or for a long period of time, because it'll hopefully go up in value instead of going down in value, So if you understand the parameters of different types of money, you can make a choice. There'd be a free, it's like the same thing if you're buying a car. There's different producers of cars you're gonna go shop around for what you think is best for you. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with money. If there's a market of money, then people can look around, shop around, and decide what type of money they want to do business in. And hopefully people will, select for the best products, the best value, whatever, and, hopefully weed out, the I don't know, the crappy products. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and that right there, that's a healthy, natural thing in economics. It's trading, like it's kind of like the free market principle. Like, people, when there's competition, a free market, there's multiple people producing something. It's like people create a better product for a better value, better price, and people have options. When people have options, if somebody's creating something better than yours, people are just gonna abandon yours, come over here and go to the good thing. And then if you want to stay in business, you got to either produce something as good or better. You know what I'm saying? So you're constantly getting a better product when there's competition. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can see what I'm saying. So that's a natural, healthy thing. That's how so much of our world has progressed, is through natural, healthy economic competition. Like, so much we have. Like, for real. Like, Henry Ford, he said, look, I got something better than that freaking little horse carriage over there. Let's freaking stick a motor with some wheels on it, and boom, cars, boom. You know what I'm saying? That's how so much of what we have even exists. I'm telling you, competition is key to human progress. It's an economic function, and right now, what there has been for a long time is like money monopolies. It's been like a stranglehold on. Like I said, like the government can, if they mandate that taxes have to be paid with a certain type of money, it creates a demand. When that creates a demand, the government can then print money, whatever, borrow it, whatever they do, crazy stupid shit. Like, why is the government going in debt, first of all, when it could just literally print money? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's how you almost know that the fucking government's like hijacked by fucking crooked ass people. Government goes in debt when it can literally just print money debt free. Anyway, whatever they do, they can borrow money, they can let the banks print money, they can borrow it, and then go to the market and buy whatever they want. Like I said, they can hire soldiers, go to war, they can get contractors to build them stuff, weapons, other stuff, but whatever. But then the central banks have control over the currency in general, with controlling interest rates, which kind of affects inflation and deflation. It just gives them a lot of control over a lot of economic functionality, and that's a major liability for a lot of people. If it's basically a money monopoly, and really the central bank is not even part of the government. It's like a privately owned, they call it like a quasi public corporation type thing, but it's really it acts on its own accord basically, and it has a monopoly. It controls interest rates, and it's basically there's like a money monopoly in most countries, and they have they have a lot of control over economic affairs, like what's happening in our economy, because there are these monetary monopolies, and like that shit is a major liability. These random corporations that make up these central banks, that are like the member banks of these central banks, get to decide like what happens with interest rates, which affects like everybody in the economy. That's a major liability. Just allowing some random people basically to have, first of all, have a money monopoly, second, to be able to fluctuate interest rates at will and affect the value of money for everybody, and affect how the economy can even function. That's what I'm saying. It's like having one engine on an airplane and then having some jackass just fucking with the throttle like up and down. It's like, dude, there's no way we're gonna be flying good. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to be smooth sailing out here. Fucking with interest rates like that is not gonna do the trick. Yeah, so that's why I say we should have there should be competing currencies. I'll say a free market of money, but that doesn't necessarily mean it even has to be like entirely free. It can be like, I guess, regulated competently. But that's the thing, like a lot of stuff we say, yeah, we're regulated, but then it gets regulated like stupid mode and fucks it all up. If it could be regulated competently, if it's even necessary, then I guess whatever. I mean, either way, there should be competing currencies and a relatively free market of money so that people get better products, so that there's not money monopolies that are in the hands of some random actors, you know what I mean, that can do whatever they want with it, where it's gonna like be a major liability for everybody in any given country, you know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to do business, and here they go just fucking with the throttle interest rates, and the fucking whole thing's jerking around, and like businesses are fucking going out of business because of fucking inflation and deflation, just can't fucking handle it. That's not smooth sailing at all. No, that's why we need competing currencies. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty much that simple, to be honest. What else do I want to say? I'm basically using Bitcoin as a. I want to kind of talk about Bitcoin. I guess that the Bitcoin discussion was really the emergence of all these new cryptocurrencies, and that to me is like the first seed of a new like kind of free market of money, if you want to call it that. I don't want to say free market. Everybody, that's kind of specific. Free market means there'd be like no regulation whatsoever. Just competing currencies, new market source competing currencies. Like that's really what Bitcoin was, the emergence of, like a new era of that, and all these other currencies, cryptocurrencies coming out. And I hope there are plenty of them, and I hope they are competing, and I hope people get better and better monetary products that they can use to facilitate trade in the economy. And we have plenty of redundancy, not just 4 engines. We have hundreds of different engines, up and running and keeping the whole economy smooth sailing. If one goes out, 2 go out, 3 go out, half of them go out, we still got the other half up and running, and we're good. The thing, let's be honest though, with cryptocurrencies, they're all digital and electric. So if there's like some major like EMP, electromagnetic pulse, that like wiped out all like our electrical grid and stuff, there, that wouldn't work. So I really still suggest physical money. I do gold, maybe silver, whatever else people can manage. I just don't like fiat that much. I think it's really a money monopoly given to banks. There's certain legislation passed way back. They can literally just create money on spot. They literally print money. Like the Federal Reserve is a privately owned bank. It's made up of member banks. It's not part of the government, and they literally print money. Through fractional reserve banking, they're allowed to print money. And fractional reserve banking itself is a scam. Basically says like you only have to, like, you have like a certain amount of money in reserves, and you can print like 10 times more than what you have in reserves. It's just like you can multiply money basically. And that's what they're doing. That's why it's just constant inflation. That's why the value of the dollar is gone. Is fucking just so diluted after like the last 100 years since the creation of the Federal Reserve, 1913. That's just in America. Other countries have the same thing going on. Other countries have already gone through one currency, inflated to oblivion, then they came out with a new one just so they could do it again. They just literally, it's like robbery. Inflation is like robbery. Money creation and inflation is like robbery. It's like the government literally creates money, goes to the market, buys stuff, to the point that the money, they just do it so much that the money goes down in value, but they've already bought so much from the market that they've just literally transferred real wealth into their, domain, and then traded you worthless paper that they're making worth, more and more worthless over time, by inflating it. And then eventually it's just totally worthless, and they already basically robbed you, got all the real wealth, goods and services, whatever, over in their corner. And then they say, oh, sorry, this money's worthless now. Some people work their asses off, their whole lives, and they're saving like with that type of money in a retirement fund, and it ends up worthless. It's like, damn, like really, y'all could. And then they just say, oh, sorry, and then they go and do it again. They create a new one, print, goes to the market, bring real wealth over to their corner, and inflate it to oblivion again. And people keep getting duped, and that's such a ripoff, such a scam. So that's a relevant point. What else? Hey, when I'm trying to record a video and some random people just like come up and just start lingering. Like, what are these people doing behind me? Y'all listening? Watch my video. Go like and subscribe on my channel. You go watch it on the internet. You don't gotta listen to me right now. Just go watch the video. I'm trying to get my views up anyway. Miss Debbie, is that her name? Okay. I'm in a cool little place. It's a little kind of small town vibe, and I guess everybody knows each other and stuff. That's cute. Okay. What other points are there? Yeah. So what I advocate for is monetary competition, like different monetary products, meaning like different types of money. Basically, I call them monetary products because I want to reiterate the point that they are products. They're like goods, basically, like all other goods and services in our economy. They just, what they do is facilitate trade. I mean, it has a economic function in that way, but it's still just like, it's like a product. It's a good. It's like, with a lot of money today, a lot of banks created with these cryptocurrencies. I guess the ledger was created initially, and it's kind of like a company of sorts. I don't know. It's people that upkeep the ledger and rework the code and stuff and upkeep the network. So in that sense, it's like it's a product that was produced by people, and just like any other good or service in our economy. And that's what I want to reiterate. That's why I say there should be competition with different types of monetary products, and the more the better. The more competition, the better, because we're gonna get better and better products. Better with better parameters, whatever, because it'd be competition. People select for the best ones, and the ones that are trash will become obsolete, and the market will, support what is good. Hopefully. I mean, sometimes people can be duped with some type of hype or whatever, but still, generally speaking, people will weed out the trash and select for the good ones. It's just typically how competition works in business. So there you go. What else? Oh, hold on, let me pause this. Sorry, I had a phone call coming. I was expecting a call. Anyway, I might not even add it to the end of this, the first part, but maybe I will. You'll probably see the first part by itself, then I'll add this part maybe later on. But yeah, so I advocate for competition in the economy with different monetary products, because it's just redundancy, and it takes away that liability, of having a money monopoly that so many people are dependent on, that these individual actors, like bankers, are able to manipulate through affecting interest rates like that. That's a major liability for the entire world, dude. Like, it's such a major liability. So anyway, yeah, having a free market of money that's like, sourced from the market, where people with competition, where people can choose what to use, it's like that's a good thing. We'll weed out all the trash, and fiat is probably gonna be one of the first to go because they inflate it to oblivion. It's a terrible monetary product. Fiat is such a terrible monetary product, dude. It's like, it's trash, dude. Like, thoroughly, it's inflated to oblivion. It's like, it's a scheme to basically rob people of their real wealth. Like I said, they print the money, go to the market. First, they create the demand by saying taxes have to be paid in, but then they, perpetually print it, our fucking government borrows it and goes into debt to these fucking banks and shit. So that's how, I mean, these motherfuckers are so schemy, I'm telling you. But either way, they'll fucking print it, whatever, go to the market, and then fucking buy real fucking resource, like wealth, the like goods and services, people, like what people produce. And they're giving you this money that they're just gonna keep printing. And so it's totally worthless, in exchange for it. And there's some people that are trying to, save with that type of money, and it's just, it's turning into nothing. It's turning into worthless paper. It's people that work their whole lives, saving up money for retirement, and by the time they're able, they're of age to retire, the money that they saved the whole time is worthless. It's such a fucking ripoff. It's a scam. It's the fiat right now is like the worst fucking monetary product, like, of all time. Like, it's such a scam, dude. Like, nobody that understands the real parameters of it, that has any sense, economically, understands money, thinks it's a good thing. It's like, if there's monetary competition, different type, competing currencies, whatever, people gonna look at fiat and say that is like the fucking worst monetary product of all time. Like, it'll be looked back upon like for what it is. It's a huge fucking scam. It's like the worst fucking monetary product. It's like the worst thing of all time. Like, it'll be like worse than Enron. Like, by far. The biggest scam of all time. Fucking are the fiat money. Fractional reserve banking. Banks having control over fucking money monopolies, able to affect the interest rates and fuck up everybody's business an entire fucking country and the entire fucking world, dude. It's such a scam, dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I advocate for, there being competition in the market for money, like different types of competing monetary products, and I guarantee when people really start to look and like shop around for different types of money and look at the parameters of different types of money, they're gonna look at fiat and say that was the worst fucking biggest scam of all time. It's gonna be like one of the worst eras in human history, the fucking total shit fucking era of fiat dominating, and like basically there being monopolies, or you know what I'm saying, it's so bad. It's so bad. Like basically there being only one producer of money, and it's just such a shit fucking product. It's so fucking shit. It's insane. And people, I'm telling you. Anyway, with that being said, I gotta go meet up with my homie. That's what I was actually over here for. I just figured I'd make a video while I was waiting for him to call. So yeah, hope I made my point. I advocate for competing currencies in our economy, different monetary products that are competing with each other, so people can select for the best and get rid of the shit, which guaranteed will include fiat. Fiat is the fucking worst by far. It's insane. It's fucking insane. So anyway, that being said, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll talk to y'all later. Like and subscribe my video. I don't know. You don't gotta like them. I don't know. Just keep watching my shit and help it blow up or whatever. I'm trying to put good stuff out there, so do that. And I'm trying to get the word out. Trying to get some of this knowledge to become mainstream and stuff. That's really what my main objective is with most of my videos. Try to share good knowledge that I think can be evolutionary, I would say, kind of world changing to a degree. I'm not necessarily just saying like I'm just gonna, but like incrementally, new knowledge comes out and evolution occurs. I call it like behavioral evolution. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Put out different ideas. Hopefully they spread far and wide, become mainstream, become common knowledge in the collective psyche, and then we can have it can be evolutionary in a sense. So that's what I'm also advocating for, if you want to call it that. All right, I'm out here. I'm gonna talk to you later. Have a great day and be awesome, and peace out.